Well, you guys are not going to want to miss this video. I am out in the middle of nowhere in New Hampshire. I've been searching this area for a while. It all came down to following the walls, using my instinct, and I just found me a lost colonial home site. So stick around. Well, everybody, it doesn't get much worse than this. Weather-wise, condition-wise, nasty as we're in the melt-off of winter going into early spring. It's 33 degrees and foggy right now, so it's just raw. Well, I'm heading out. I'm by myself. I'm going to an area that I was out here last year for like 5 hours, hiking back and forth, following walls. And today I've returned to fill in some of the gaps on my map, so let's hit the woods and I'll tell you about it as we go. This chunk of land is about 800 acres, and people were out here in the 1730s, and there's lots of walls, lots of big squares, and I've followed a good portion of them. But there's one section out here that I've tickled around, but there's a couple sections of broken wall inside of a big square. And my thought is, if it was a pasture for livestock, there would be no other walls in it at random. So I've got to get through this. Oh yeah, wow, it's sleeting. Surprise. I've got to get through this using compass brain, heading due east off of my start point back there. I brought the detector to see if we come across anything. We'll scan for iron. Let's hope for the best. So I think it's gonna be a lot of this as we go. Yeah. So last year when I was out here, now I've mapped an entire square around this big chunk of land, but last year when I was out here, this, what I believe is a cart path, it's definitely a beaten trail, I come across a section of wall that's not connected to anything else, and that is what makes me think and gets me out here on days like this. Hopefully we come across it soon, because I can't remember exactly where it was, but I know it was on this cart path. Well, I've ended up in this big ravine, just going off memory of topographic maps I was looking at last night. I definitely got to go up in there. I've come off the cart path, by the way, so I'm a little bit off of what I was following coming in, but it makes more sense to go up than down. Oh, this ought to be fun. Wow, what a mess. Well, I climbed in up out of that ravine. I'm not sure if I'm on the right hill, because I never crossed that chunk of wall that I saw last year. But look at that, stacked rocks. Oh yeah, more stacked rocks over there. Oh yeah, little strip of wall. That's interesting. And maybe that other strip of wall that I touched upon last summer was different from this, because the cart path kept going off to the northwest, and my instincts told me to go to the east, climb up this hill. And the remarkable thing about this, people, is that it is terrible land out here. And a lot of people ask, why would people settle out here? Realistically, it's simple. You're getting off the boat, you didn't have much money, or it was granted to you, you're gonna take it. And if it was 100 miles in off the coast, think of how far that seemed 300 years ago. But let's check out this wall, because it shouldn't be out here normally. Oh yeah, and I'm pretty much dead center in the middle of this square. And you can quite well imagine that almost 300 years ago, It didn't look like this out here. It may have just been beautiful rolling hills. Oh wow, look, it ends. That's a good sign. It might just be gingerbread out front of the home. If there's another home site out here, this is going to be another remarkable discovery. Oh, way too nasty. So it's not up there on the lift. Let's come back over by the wall and look around. So think about it this way. I'm in a roughly 800-acre square lot, and all throughout here are walls, and some of them are very defined in 50 or 100-acre lots. You're seeing the landscape. If you had squared this in for pasture, for livestock, you would not have thrown down 100 feet of wall for no reason in the middle of it. Same with that pile of stones. That's why we brought the detector. Look for iron. Oh my God. Holy crap. This actually could be it. Oh yeah. Well, chalk that up as a victory. Unbelievable. I wouldn't have found this in a million years unless I had hiked a million hours out here, back and forth, and it all came down to that small chunk of wall in the middle of nowhere. It gives me hope there's more of them out here. In 800 acres? Well, it's time to take a culture. There's no doubt a site like this, absolutely virgin. And there ain't much left to it at all. So I got my first signal. It's either going to be old or it's going to be ammunition related, shotgun shell or something, because, you know, people hunt and shoot everywhere in New Hampshire. Brick. Surprising out here. Gee, so that means that little trail that I've hiked down before and followed is in fact the old cart path coming out here. You can quite well imagine after a couple hundred years, logging and weather, so much becomes eroded. Excellent. Part of a shoe buckle frame. Nice. Oh, this place is going to be killer. Not only is it going to be great for relic recovery, but it's one more site that I get to put on a map that was not there before. I can't even explain to you guys how exciting and important this is for local history, just the satisfaction of accomplishment. Spent a lot of time out here. Like I said, last summer I just found that wall, but I can't even count how many trips out here in this forest following all the other walls. Flashing. That's alright. Beautiful. It's an itty bitty pewter spoon bowl. There you go. Part of a button. There's the other half of the button. Oh yeah, look at that old shank. $52, $53. So realistically, I'm only giving myself about 15 minutes to dig. Because like I said, I really got to get out of here before the bad weather comes. And also, I'm going to go out a different way. So I got to give myself a bit of time for that. Oh, nice. Draw pull handle. So just out of curiosity, I come over the wall on the side of the house. The side of the house would have been right there, facing that way. And just to see what the ground is sounding like. Nice 53, 54. This place has got to be pretty healthy with the relic supply here. Awesome. Pewter spoon handle. This stuff is extremely brittle. That actually just broke off in my hand. I barely even touched the thing. Oh yeah, so far everything's been really old. Another button. Easy picking too. So this is interesting. We were just on the other side of the house, on that wall. I'm now on the other side. And the chimney stack is actually out on not only the other side of the house, but it's actually in the corner. And that's very uncommon. And it's not the center of the house because you can see it just, there's nothing here. But I just swung over something that's really loud. Like 80 loud. Yeah, plenty of ice right here. Ice seems to build up around the rock more than anything. Very surprised there's brick out here too. Wow. I gotta move you guys. Here's the thought. You guys see that? Signal goes from here to here. I bet you it's a pewter spoon. We're gonna leave it because it's way too frozen in and I don't want to break it. All right, last target. Upper 60s. And I'm inside the footprint of the house. Man, it's gonna be tough walking out of here today. But that's the plan. More flashing with holes in it. And that's actually what was right over there, so it makes sense for where I'm standing. Awesome. Well, my gear is packed up and I'm gonna head out that way. I can see that this is a little squared off paddock area, so I'm gonna go through the corner of it and kind of head towards that other plateau that I went by. See, it's the little things like this out in the middle of nowhere that just stand out, fragments of the past. Wow. So I'm just popping back out onto the cart path I came in on. I just used compass brain and dropped me right out here, and where I am is where I went too far and I ended up in that ravine and had to climb back up the hill. This was the last plateau of land, so now I know where to go back in. Unbelievable, guys. Well, we'll look forward to tomorrow. Hope you'll tune back in, and until then, enjoy your not Thursday.